So today we're going to try and make some bread. This is my second time doing it, first time unassisted. So if it turns out to be a big lump of wet flour, that's what we're going to get. So based on my understanding, the most important thing you need is a scale, because these bread people want everything down to the gram instead of measuring in like normal units. So we're going to start with the water. It's supposed to be between 90 and 95 degrees, and I'm at 105 right now. So I'm thinking when I pour it in that bowl, because that bowl's cold, the temperature will come down to where we want it to be. And I need 720, my bad, grams. So my lovely wife is going to get me more water because that wasn't enough. 720 grams. So I'm going to put that over in my clear KitchenAid mixing bowl. I'm using this bowl because it's the only one I have that's clear, that we're going to be able to watch the concoction rise. Shake all the water out of it. And I guess I need a dry bowl now because I got to do flour. So I probably did this in the wrong order. So we're going to put this new bowl on there. I'm going to check my temperature. Look, and I'm already down to 100 degrees. We're getting there. And we're going to zero that thing. And I need flour. And I don't remember how much. Kristen, how much? 1,000 grams of flour. And you were going to do something with a sifter, right?
I'm going to put it through the sifter, just in case it's lumpy. So the way you will do this is you will combine the 1,000 grams of flour with the 720 grams of 90 degrees to 95 degrees Fahrenheit water in a 12-quart round tub or similar container. Mix by hand just until incorporated. Cover and let rest for 20 to 30 minutes. I think my bowl cover is too small for this.
We got the top off. I can dump that in there. And then mix by hand. Hand mix. The recipe book that we are following recommends that you use just a general all-purpose flour. No need to use any of like the high protein or high gluten flours that are out there and available. And I feel like I needed to have oiled my hand or something. I mean, come on now. I would have used a glove, but you know, viruses, can't find any.
It has dinosaurs on it. It's my new Marley's Monster bowl cover. It's got like a polyurethane or a pull interior, so if you have liquids, it stays in there. And it's to use instead of, say, saran wrap or aluminum foil. It's by a company called Marley's Monsters, which is, they make a lot of these sort of sustainable products. So I bought it because I wanted to try it. And we'll see if it works, but I think it's going to be too small here.
Alright, I think I'm done trying to get this stuff off of me. I guess I could say shit, because my YouTube channel isn't kid friendly. That's what it's marked anyway, because, you know, the children's. I'm a little crass for them. There you go.
Oh no, I can get it to just barely fit. Look at that. Alright, so let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes. It's 10:15 now, so at 10:45 we'll be back.
Next steps of the bread making process: 21 grams of salt.
I'm going to need the other thing, salt.
She's going to need the other thing of salt.
Also, we need to put it on grams. It might be okay. Just barely. Okay, I got my 21 grams of salt. And what was the 7 grams of yeast?
4 grams of yeast.
4 grams. I may need a teeny tiny little spoon.
So, we got
You're gonna
salt.
wet your
I don't
hands.
know which page you were on. It minimized.
You're gonna wet your hands.
Wet my hands.
Okay, you're gonna mix by hand, wetting your working hand before mixing so the dough doesn't stick to you.
Not sticky.
It's fine to re-wet your hands 3 to 4 times while you mix. So you're gonna sprinkle that over the top, evenly.
Evenly. And we're using active yeast, not fast rising. And then you just want me to mix this.
So reach underneath the dough and grab about 1/4 of it. Gently stretch the section of dough and fold it over the top to the other side of the dough. Repeat 3 or 4 times with the remaining dough until the salt and yeast are fully encased. Oh, enclosed, sorry. I think it's the same though. Using the pincer method. Once all the dough has been folded over itself, continue mixing until using the pincer method. Using the pincer, grab with your thumb and forefinger, squeeze big chunks of the dough, and then tighten your grip to cut through the dough. Do this repeatedly, working through the entire mass of dough. With your other hand, turn the tub while you're mixing to give your active hand a good angle of attack. Dipping your mixing hand back into the container of warm water 3 or 4 times throughout the process to re-wet it and prevent the dough from sticking to you. If you don't, the dough will be sticky and hard to work. It is normal to feel the granularity of the salt and yeast as you mix. Using a moist hand for mixing will help the salt and yeast dissolve. Cut through the dough 5 or 6 times with the pincer method, then fold it over itself a few times. Then once again, cut through it 5 or 6 times and fold over itself a few more times. Repeat this process, alternating between cutting and folding until you feel and see that all the ingredients are fully integrated and the dough has some tension to it. For me, this takes 2 or 3 minutes. When you're new at this, it could take 5 or 6 minutes. Let the dough rest for a few minutes, then fold for another 30 seconds or until the dough tightens up. That's it for mixing.
So Kristin is back to the dough after letting it sit for about an hour since the last time I mixed it and touched it. And she's going to use the same method I did, where she's going to wet her hand, grab underneath the dough, pull it up, and put it over itself. She's going to do that 4 times to get it back into a tighter ball, and then flip the dough 180 degrees so that the top is now on the bottom. Alright, so we're going to divide the dough now. It's been rising all day, so I'm going to flour both my hands and the countertop here to prepare my work surface, as the recipe says. Oh, that's sucks. Alright, so now with my flour hands, take the thing off. We're supposed to like carefully get this off the side of the bowl, which just kind of seems like an impossible task here. Alright, I think we've got a lot of that broken loose. So we're going to tip this over on the side and try and ease it on out of here. Ta-da! And now I have to sprinkle a little bit of flour down the center. I'm going to cut it in half and split the dough here to keep the knife from sticking. I'm going to use the kitchen knife because I don't have any fancy rubber dough scrapers or anything
Alright, how to shape the loaves. The goal of shaping is to form each piece of dough into a medium tight round while taking care to preserve the gas that is built up in the dough. Be aware that when your dough pieces are sitting on the flour work surface, the underside of the dough will become the outside of the loaf. This will help you understand the shaping process. The bottom of each piece of dough is sitting on some flour, so it's not going to be sticky there. Keeping your hands in contact with that part of the dough is the most important advice I can offer. Otherwise, the dough will stick to your hands.
Less than stellar, but we did it.
Next, we're going to proof them. Lightly flour the top of the loaves, set them side by side, and cover with a kitchen towel or place each basket in a non-perforated plastic bag. Plan on baking the loaves about 1¼ hours after they are shaped, assuming a room temperature of about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If your kitchen is a little warmer, then it will be optimally proofed in about 1 hour. Use the finger dent test to determine when they are perfectly proofed and ready to bake. Be sure to check the loaves after 1 hour. With this spread, 15 minutes can make the difference between being perfectly proofed and collapsing a bit.
So now we're ready to finally bake the bread. What you're going to do is take a Dutch oven or other lidded cooking container that's oven safe, put it in the oven, and preheat the whole thing to 475 degrees. And then I'm going to flour the countertop work surface and take the dough out of the bowl that it's been proofing in for the rest of the day and flip it upside down onto the floured surface. We'll then pull the hot Dutch oven at 475 degrees out of the oven, take the lid off, quick drop the dough ball in, put the lid back on, and put the whole thing back in the oven. It will then cook for 35 to 40 minutes with the lid on. The recipe says 40, that's what we did, and I felt like the top just got a little overcooked for me, so I would check it at 35 minutes. And then from there, you'll remove the lid, and it will cook for another 15 to 20 minutes until it looks like it's nice and browned and done. And from there you have your final bread. Ta-da! Bread. Bottom looks nice and firm. A little crispy on top maybe, but bread. So the recipe called for the dough to be divided into, as you guys saw, and we only baked the one loaf into bread. So the other one we put in a container in the fridge, and then the next day we rolled it out to make these pizza rolls. The roll in the back is filled with pepperoni and cheese, and the one in the front that's cut open is pancetta, arugula, and cheese.